tropical wine enthusiasts. The weather outside may be frightful, but in here we are cooking up something delightful, featuring Hot Sun, our delicious, zesty tomato wine fermented with hot peppers. Today we're making a warm, comforting tomato soup that'll warm you from the inside out. And what better to pair with your soup than 40 carrots? Now, I'm not talking diamonds here, ladies. I'm talking about our carrot wine. It's got wonderful woodsy undertones and a smooth, buttery finish. So, for all of you Chardonnay lovers out there, you'll want to give this one a try. It's a really easy soup recipe. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter melting over medium-high heat, and I've roughly cut up 2 to 3 carrots, depending on their size, 1 full yellow onion, and 2 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to put that into my warm butter. Oh yeah. And you'll want to stir these around for about 4 minutes. That will soften them up. Oh. Now in about 1 minute, your entire house is going to smell heavenly. So it's been about 4 minutes and my garlic, onion, and carrots are sauteed. So now it is time to add 1 can of drained and rinsed cannellini beans. In you go. The cannellini beans are a really soft, nice white kidney bean. They're easy to find at your local grocer, but make sure that you rinse and drain them really well because there's a lot of salt in the water that they're canned in. Also, we've got 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Pour them in really carefully because nothing splatters like tomatoes. Wow! Oh yeah. Get all that goodness in there. Also, we're going to add 1 bay leaf. Now, it's really important to remember to take this out before we process this soup later. We're going to make it nice and creamy, so it's not going to be this chunky mess you see here. So add your bay leaf. And a teaspoon of fresh chopped rosemary. It's so aromatic and woodsy. It's perfect for the wintertime. A teaspoon. And now this is optional. You can do some crushed red pepper flakes if you like things really spicy. We've adapted this recipe so when we use the Hot Sun tomato wine, it adds a lot of kick to it as well. So if you want a few red pepper flakes in there, you can add them, or just put them on your table and make that an option for your friends you have over. All right, then you want to do 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Now, you can easily make this entire recipe vegetarian by using vegetable broth, no problem. 1.5 cups going right in. And turn that heat up because we want to get that boiling. The piece de resistance, 1.5 cups of Hot Sun. Now, it's nice to have a little glass of this while you're making this soup. Get you nice and hungry for the deliciousness that's about to follow on your palate. All right, get that in there. And you want to bring this to a boil over your high heat. And then once it starts boiling, reduce the heat to low and simmer your soup for about 30 minutes. Easy. While the soup simmers, it's time to make the most heavenly part of the entire soup, the garnish. Now, this really makes the soup, okay? I mean, the soup has got the cannellini beans and the tomatoes and the veggies in it, and we're gonna puree all that, so it'll be a nice creamy soup. But for something extra special, just whip up about 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. You want to add, and it's not sweetened, this is a savory whipped cream, so don't think of desserts. You want to add a teaspoon of your chopped rosemary, oops, and then one of my favorite kitchen tools, you want to zest an entire lemon. Be careful not to get the white part because that's bitter. So. Give it 1 more whip so you can incorporate the lemon zest and the rosemary into the whipping cream. And there's our garnish. Our soup is almost finished simmering and it's almost time to give it a taste. So our soup has been simmering for 30 minutes and now it's time to take the lid off and give it a good whiff. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. That tomato wine really adds something special to this recipe. Now we've got to take the bay leaf out. So try to find the bay leaf. Oh, here it is. Luckily it's big. All right, so get that out of here. And now here comes the fun part. Now you can let this cool a little bit, and in batches you can put it in your blender to puree the soup and make it as thick or as thin as you want it to. I find the easiest way though is to use this tool. It's an immersion blender. Oh, can you see how creamy this is? And now we get to taste it. Now, this soup will really help you stick to your New Year's resolutions because you saw there's no meat in it. You can even make it vegetarian, and the cannellini beans add a good bit of protein. And other than that, it's all vegetables and a little yummy wine. Don't forget, once you puree the soup, to season it with salt and pepper to your liking. But now it's time for me to give this a taste. So I'm going to dollop our homemade rosemary and lemon zest cream on top. The guests can swirl it through as they want, but this presentation looks really pretty. And then a little sprig of rosemary and a little lemon wedge, just so the people know what they're eating. Mmm. What better way to warm up on a chilly winter's day than with this warm and satisfying and very indulgent, but not bad for you, tomato soup. You don't need chestnuts roasting by an open fire. You just need someone to share this delicious bowl of soup with and that 40-carat glass of wine. Cheers and happy 2010 from River Fruit Wine.